Live. Hello everyone, good evening. Am I audible? Waiting for you all? Yes. So today we are going to have the revision of the physics part. We have already discussed almost all the topics, and yes, today is the revision day, and from tomorrow we'll be starting with the chemistry. So without any delay, we'll be starting with the first question. And what's the first question of the day? The first question is, which of the following metals has the maximum thermal conductivity? Now this is from CGL 2016, and yes, all the questions which I am asking today will be from CGL part, that is previous year questions of the CGL, and do not miss any of the questions. Many of the questions were repeatedly asked in the examinations. I have just mentioned one of the year in which it is asked. So yes, we have Ankit here. Hello Ankit, how are you? So yes, so let's start with the question. The first question is, which of the following metal has the maximum thermal conductivity? Now first of all, the word that is metal, what is it? We'll go in the chemistry for a while. Metals. What are these metals? Whenever we'll talk about metals, please remember, metals are the ones which are able to donate the electrons. We'll be understanding about it from tomorrow itself. Now what is the meaning of this donation of electrons? How many electrons are actually present there? What all elements are there? One by one we'll be discussing everything. But right now, the only important thing you have to remember is, metals are the ones which donate the electrons. I'll write here. It is asked in the examination. That is, which are donating the electrons, and non-metals are the ones which are actually gaining electrons. Now with the brief idea, I'll tell you about the Na, that is sodium and chlorine, where sodium actually donates one electron and chlorine actually gets one electron, and that's why that NaCl is formed, which you are eating on a daily basis in your food, in your chow mein, in your dosa. Fine. So yes, this was actually about metal and non-metal. Now if I'll talk about those elements, in which if I'll talk about the metals category, where we are talking about only those metals which are actually donating the electrons. Here you can talk about any of this part, where I'll tell you the maximum thermal conductivity is present in what? That is your silver. Fine. So yes, option number D, that is silver, is going to be the correct answer, but it doesn't end here. One more thing is there. If someone asks you about the electrical conductivity or the best electricity conductor, then also your silver is going to be the correct answer. So I'll write here the best conductor of electricity. Best conductor of electricity. Now since we are talking about electricity, we must be remembering one more thing. What? When I'm talking about electricity, this means here, yeah, Ankit, totally correct. The correct answer was silver. So what I was talking about the best conductor of electricity. This means easily charge can flow, right? So we have Happy here. Hello Happy, good evening. So yes, if I talk about the conductor, please remember the best conductor of electricity is also silver. But at our homes, we are using what? At our homes, we are using copper. We are using copper for the reason silver is quite costlier. Because silver is quite costlier, that's why we are using copper. Fine. So at our homes, we'll be using copper. Next question is, burns caused by steam cause much more irritation than those caused by boiling water. So what's the reason behind it? Now this is from CGL 2015. What do you think? What would be the correct answer? My question is, burning caused by the steam causes much more irritation, or the burn is more severe when we are talking about steam in comparison to boiling water. There must be some reason, right? Now what's that reason? What do you think? What is the correct reason behind it? Yeah, answer please. So can you all give me answer, and everyone who is present in the session is actually requested to kindly give me your attendance so that we can start conversation here. Answer please. So yes, when we are talking about this part, please remember, if I talk about the latent heat, what is it? Latent heat is actually the hidden heat. So latent heat of vaporization. Heat of the vaporization is the main reason. So here option number B, that is steam's latent heat of vaporization, would be the correct answer. So yes, Udbhav has given the answer D. Udbhav, please remember option number B will be correct here, that is latent heat of vaporization. It is asked in one way or the another. It has been asked in the CGL many times. So question is twisted. Fine. But do not get confused with that. Okay. Next question please. when why two thin shirts can keep us warmer than a single thick shirt in winters? Now this is from CGL again, 2008. And again, this question was asked 3 times in the twisted manner, in one way or the another. Either options would be there in the question or questions part would be there in the solution. But our solution will be same. So waiting for the answer, who can give me this answer? Why two thin shirts keep us warmer than a single thick shirt in winter? What's the issue in that? If I'll talk about the thick shirt, so is thick shirt better? No. Two thin shirts are better. Why? Because what will happen if I talk about two thin shirts, so there would be a insulating medium between the two shirts. The same logic applies with the cold storage as well. Cold storages are storing all those potatoes and all. So what is the logic behind it? If I talk about cold store also, then between two walls there's a medium where we have air, that is the insulating medium. The same logic is applicable here. That is, if I talk about any of the two thin shirts, we have layer of air that acts as an insulating medium between the two shirts. So yes, here option number C, that is layer of air acts as an insulating medium between the two shirts, would be the correct answer. Okay, let's move forward with the next question. What's the next question? Energy travels from sun to earth by which of the following method? Now this is from CGL 2016. We know that when we are talking about the energy which is flowing from any of the medium, so there are different modes, right? So one of the mode which is present here, can you tell me, when the energy is traveling from sun to earth, it is from which of the following method? Is it conduction, insulation, radiation or modulation? What is the correct answer here? And everyone who is present here, kindly give me your attendance so that we can discuss about it. Yes, answer please. Answer please. Energy travels from sun to earth by which of the following method? So what do you think? What is going to be the correct answer? See, whenever we'll talk about conduction, there what happens, I'll write for you. When we are talking about this conduction, here there is no net movement in the electrons. There is no such, molecules. There is no such movement in the molecules. What is happening? The disturbance in one of the molecule is actually disturbing this molecule, because of that vibration is actually starting, but there is no movement in the molecules. Fine. But if I talk about convection, what happens? The molecules are actually moving from one location to another, where we can talk about gas or we can talk about liquid. But we are talking about molecules, right? That is, we are talking about mediums. But in the case of radiation, there is no such medium required. I'll write for you all. There is no such requirement of the medium. There is no medium required. And this is the condition where we are talking about the energy that is traveling from the sun to earth. So the energy which travels from sun to earth is actually what? That is your radiation. Radiation doesn't require any kind of medium. So yes, option number C, that is radiation, will be the correct answer. Next, heat is transmitted from higher temperature to lower temperature through the actual motion of the molecules in dash. Now this is from CGL 2016. We have discussed, when we are talking about heat, whenever we talk about heat, the temperature of the medium which is at the higher level, that is higher temperature, and to another medium which is there, or another object which is there at the lower temperature. So the object which is at higher temperature and the object which is at the lower temperature, from where to where heat will flow? Heat will always flow from higher temperature to lower temperature. We have discussed about this, right? Now, but the question is actually twisted here. It's not directly asked. In CGL 2016, the question was asked that heat is transmitted from higher temperature to lower temperature. That's true. So here, the actual motion of the molecules in what? In dash. So what is going to be the correct answer? Is it conduction, convection, radiation, or both conduction and convection? Now this one is important. Please try to give this answer because it will clear up all your doubts. This time it is not directly asked. In the morning we have discussed about it, right? And everyone who is there in the session, kindly like it and share it, and please start giving the answer. What I'm talking about? I'm talking about the transmission of heat from higher to lower temperature. Now they are talking about the actual motion of molecules. We have just discussed about it. When I'll talk about the actual motion, that's not in the case of conduction. That's not in the case of radiation. Why? Let's understand. When I talk about conduction, we can talk about a rod. Now, if I am heating this rod, what will happen? Because of the presence of molecules, the disturbance in this molecule will be transferred here. Then the disturbance which was actually transferred here, it is actually going to transfer everywhere. That is, all of the molecules will get disturbed. That is, they'll be starting vibration at their own mean position, right? But molecules are not moving. Just have a look. What is asked? Actual motion of the molecules. This means conduction is not going to be the correct answer. If I'll go with the radiation part, then radiation doesn't require any sort of medium. Remember, radiation is not requiring any kind of medium. Now what is left? Just convection part, where molecules actually change their position. Molecules actually change their position, and yes, both conduction and convection cannot be correct because conduction is already out of the options. Now what is left? The only option left is your convection. So here please remember, convection is going to be the correct answer because only in the case of convection, actual motion of the electrons is there. Got my point? If you got my point, I want your answer please. Is this particular point clear? Everyone waiting for the answer. Please remember, again I am saying, in the case of conduction, there is no such movement in the molecules. But if I talk about the movement of the molecules, here you will talk about the convection. And in the radiation, there is no such medium required. So yes, absolutely correct, Ankit. Here option number B was correct answer. Next. In a refrigerator, a cooling system should always be present where? Now this is from Cgl 2004. At the top, at the bottom, at the middle, or it can be anywhere. What do you suggest? In the similar manner, I can talk about AC also, air conditioners. So just have a look at the air conditioners which are present in your rooms. If not, you can go with the fridge as well, since the question is from the fridge part, that is refrigerator. So in the refrigerator, a cooling system should always be where? Should it be at top, at bottom, at the middle, what? And yes, let me tell you, all these questions are from CGL. Do not miss any of the questions. So we have Ganesh here, and Ganesh is saying, sir, at bottom. Ganesh, you are live now. You are giving answer for the refrigerator. Can you please confirm me? So since Ganesh is giving this answer, that is at the bottom, Ganesh, let's have a discussion. See, when I talk about a fridge, when we talk about the fridge, if I talk about the cooling system, it's actually there at the top. Now there's a reason behind it. Please always remember, I'm writing a point here. Hot air always rises up. Hot air always rises. Now just think, yeah, okay, cool Ganesh, fine. So whenever we'll talk about any of the vegetable or fruit which is present here, hot air will rise up, right? Now what will happen because of the presence of this coolant? Because of this presence of the coolant, what is going to happen? This hot air will again cool up. And what actually happens in the fridge? We have compressed gases. We have compressed gases where when those particular gases are actually coming out here, when they're actually expanding, what is going to happen there? At that time, cooling effect is given. Now please remember one more thing. Now again that gas is converted into the liquid. So there is a volatile liquid which is converted into the gas, and that process actually goes on. Here you can talk about when this hot air is actually rising up, we have a coolant over here, cold air, again it will settle down, and in this manner cooling actually takes place. Fine. Now there's a question, one more question, but this is from the chemistry part. Which particular gas is present here? Can you tell me? Which particular gas is present here? So I am writing for you all. Please remember, that is HCFC, hydrochlorofluorocarbons. In earlier days, there were CFCs, that is chlorofluorocarbons, which were creating depletion in the ozone layer. Remember, what is ozone? Ozone, that is O3. It was creating depletion in that. So right now, yeah, this happened in the water. Yeah, so what I am saying, here we are using HCFCs. And please remember, these are the volatile liquids. Volatile liquid, that is easily they are converted into the gases, and that particular process is going on. Yes, and you can take the example also. In many of times this might have happened. Just behind your fridge, there's a tray in which water is keeping on collecting. So from where this water is coming? This water is actually coming from those compressed gases itself. I guess this is clear to you all. So please remember, we need to keep this cooling system on the top. One more thing, from this logic itself, let me tell you about igloo. If I draw igloo over here, igloo quite seems like this, right? So I'll talk about an igloo. What happens in the igloo? In the igloo, we just dig some snow over here. What happens? Whatever cool air is there, it actually settles down here. And hence, we feel quite hot in igloos. Okay, so please remember, cold air settles down and hot air rises up. Okay, let's move forward with the next question. So here, in a refrigerator, cooling system should always be there at the top. Next, the temperature of a liquid is 32 degree Fahrenheit. What is the temperature in the Celsius scale? Very simple question. This was asked in CGL. Answer please. Now I have one more question from here, from the CGL part itself, and that was asked in MTS also. But before that, answer please. The temperature of a liquid is 32 degree Fahrenheit. What is the temperature in the Celsius scale? Can you answer this? Answer please. Ganesh. Very simple question, right? Now just have a look. What kind of question was asked in the CGL? But yes, calculation can be made tougher this time. Competition is quite high. Yeah, so Ganesh is a 0. That's totally correct. If I'll go with this part, we know that. What is that? F minus 32 by 9. This is the formula, right? And it's very obvious when we are talking about 32 degree Fahrenheit. This means we are talking about what? 32 minus 32. No need to go with the further calculation. If this is 0, this means C's value is also going to be 0, right? So yes, you're totally correct, 0 degree centigrade. But the important question which is there is, I want to ask, what is the value at which degree centigrade and degree Fahrenheit are equal? Can you answer me this? Without any options. Can you answer me this in yes or no? My question is, at what value degree Fahrenheit and degree Celsius will be same? What is that answer? Answer, I want the temperature at which degree Fahrenheit and degree centigrade are same. Answer please. If you want, I can give the options then. Okay, first of all, I'll write minus 40, then plus 40, then plus 100, or then minus 100. So these are 4 options for you. No. Ganesh, just try to have a look. If I'll just try to solve it, F minus 32 by 9 is equal to C by 5. Just try to calculate it. If I'll write 273 or minus 273, LHS and RHS will not be same. So there's only one value. Please remember, Ganesh, there's only one value. See, it's good that you are giving the answer. I assure you, since you have given the wrong answer here, 100% you will be correct in the main examination. Now, the answer which you have given 100, just try to calculate it. If I write 100 minus 32 by 9 and 100 by 5, are they going to be equal? No. So Ganesh, now you are with minus 100. Try to solve it. If I'll go with minus 100, minus 32 by 9 and minus 100 by 5. So it is actually minus 132 by 9 is equal to minus 100 by 5. Do you think these values are going to be same? No. See, this is minus 132 by 9 and this is minus 100 by 5. Correct? So these values are also not same. Please remember, it's only one value, and since it is previously asked, it's very important. The only value which will satisfy it is minus 40. Let's try to solve it. Okay, let's try to solve it. And I assure you, 100% if this comes in your examination, you will be right. Please remember, this is very important one. So minus 40 is the correct answer. I'll tell you how. Let's try to solve it. C by 5 is equal to F minus 32 by 9. This was previously asked. Okay, totally correct, Ganesh. Awesome. So let's have a look. Minus 40 by 5 is equal to minus 40 minus 32 by 9. If I try to solve this out, no, yeah, totally correct. In the left hand side, it will be minus 8. In the right hand side, minus 72 by 9. That is again 8. That is minus 8, both at LHS and RHS. Great. So please remember, the only value at which degree centigrade and degree Fahrenheit will be equal is minus 40. So I'll write here, degree centigrade is equal to degree Fahrenheit. Got my point? So please remember, all these questions are very important and plays a significant role in the examination. Okay, let's get back to the point. Next is, temperature of a distant luminous bodies can be determined by, this is from CGL 2016, mercury thermometer, gas thermometer, pyrometer or color thermometers. Yes, Ganesh and others, please, everyone is requested to answer this. Question is, temperature of distance luminous bodies can be determined by dash. Now, distance luminous bodies, where you can talk about any of the planet, or you can even talk about sun. Fine. Okay. Sorry, you cannot talk actually about luminous bodies because we are talking about the luminous bodies, so you can talk only about stars. So we can talk about moon and all. Fine. Okay. So yes, temperature of distant luminous bodies can be determined by what? Again, I am taking my words back. We cannot discuss about planets over here, right? Because they are the bodies which are having light of their own. We can only talk about the stars. Yes. Will it be mercury thermometer, gas thermometer, pyrometer or color thermometers? It is important. Answer please. Ganesh, are you there? And everyone who is there in the session, kindly give me your name so that I can start interaction with you. And these questions are very, very important. And it's not that only it's asked one time. One of the year I have mentioned. The latest year in which it was asked actually. Says, if I talk about the distance luminous objects, you can talk about any of one of the luminous bodies. For example, I am talking about sun. If I talk about, no idea, no issues. Please remember, whenever we are talking about a distance objects and I want to measure its temperature, it's not possible to take the mercury thermometer or gas thermometer over there. So what we can do, we can use the concept of radiation. And that's totally correct, Ganesh. Awesome. So you have given the correct answer. The correct answer is going to be pyrometer. Pyrometer is the one which is actually calculating the temperature, what is the exact temperature via using the radiation. Fine. So yes, for the distance luminous objects, we are using pyrometers. Great. Next, Curie is the unit of dash. Now this is from Cgl again. Curie is the unit of what? Is it radioactivity, energy of gamma rays, intensity of gamma rays, work function? What is the correct answer here? Curie is the unit of what? And we know that if I talk about Curie, that is, we can say this was derived from where? We have names, Marie Curie, Pierre Curie, right? Marie Curie, was she? She was the one who has actually discovered radium. If I talk about Marie Curie and Pierre Curie, they were the one who have discovered radium. And yes, Marie Curie was the one who has received Nobel Prize more than once. So if I talk about Curie, so is it the unit of radioactivity, energy of gamma rays, intensity of gamma rays or work function? What is the correct answer here? Answer please. Please remember, whenever we are talking about radioactivity, radioactivity was discovered by Henry Becquerel. Who was he? Henry Becquerel. But Ganesh, totally correct. Radioactivity is the correct answer. But the important thing which I want to explain is, Henry Becquerel was the one who has given this concept of radioactivity, or we can say discovered the concept of radioactivity. So from a surname itself, we get its SI unit. Now this is important. Please remember, if I talk about the surname, only Becquerel. So Becquerel is actually the SI unit of radioactivity, but other units are Curie and all. So in the examination, if it is asked, what is the SI unit of radioactivity? And we have Curie there, Becquerel there and other options. Please remember, for the SI unit, the correct answer will be Becquerel, because we know that SI unit is only one. Correct? For example, if I'll go with the length, for the length, we have SI unit what? We have that meter. No doubt, for the length we have kilometer also. Even we can talk about other units, angstrom as well. But here meter is what? SI unit. In the similar manner, this is very common question which is asked in the examination. If I'll ask about time, so I'll give you options. Can you give me the SI unit of time? I'm giving you option. First one is hour. Second is minute. Third one is second. Fourth is all of the above. All of the above. What is the SI unit of time? What is the SI unit of time? So can you answer this? SI unit of time is hour, minute, second or all of the above. Now this is again the important one, because here we, in spite of knowing the answer, we click on the wrong answer. So need to discuss all these things. Yes, answer please. If I talk about the time, what is the SI unit of time? Is it hour, minute, second or all of the above? Yeah, see Ganesh, the important fact is, please remember, if I talk about SI units now, SI units are only one. For example, if I talk about length, it's only meter. If I talk about luminous intensity, it's candela. That is only one unit. In the similar manner, if I'll go with this time, So we have only SI unit, that is the second. What? Only second. But yes, other units can be what? Other units can be many. We know that we can talk about time. We can say that this much, any of the units, where we are talking about all these units. But yes, only and only one SI unit will be there, that is second. Great, totally correct. So I guess you got this answer. Now talking about this concept, Curie is the unit of radioactivity, and yes, SI unit is becquerel over here. Next. Which one among the following components is used as an amplifying device? So is it transformer, diode, capacitor or transistor? Now this is from Cgl again. So is it transformer, diode, transistor or capacitor? What is going to be the correct answer? And everyone who has joined the session, kindly like it and share it. And yes, everyone is requested to please give me answers, because Ganesh is interacting, so I am clearing his all the doubts. If you have any sort of doubt, please let me know, so that we can actually eradicate all the doubts. And from tomorrow we will be starting with the chemistry, and after finishing the chemistry we will be coming on the next level of the questions, that is higher levels, which were asked in the previous questions. So yes, previous years actually. So if we have next question, and Ganesh has given answer B. See, which one among the following component is used as an amplifying device? So please remember, if I talk about the amplifying device, we will be using transistors. So transistors are actually used as a amplifying device. Now if I talk about, one more question is there, in that I will explain this. The question is, where is transistor most likely to be found? And I have already told you, transistor is actually used as a amplifying device, right? Now my question is, where we are using this transistor? Is it in wristwatch, fuse, hearing aid or fluorescent lamp? Just try to relate the concept. Amplifying, amplifier we use for the sound, right? We said amplifier is there. We require amplifier for what? Amplifying. Just try to relate it. Where we can use it? Is it in the wristwatch, in the fuse, in the hearing aid? Where? See, previous year questions, Ganesh, previous year questions will give you idea what kind of questions are asked in the examination. And please clear up your concepts. After clearing the concepts, we can have a look. Okay, so these type of questions are asked. So accordingly, we can go with the preparation part. So since we are talking about Cgl, just have a look. These type of questions are asked. So we can be prepared. Okay, so this is actually the level, and accordingly we can prepare for the examination. And don't worry, just after completing the chemistry, we will be covering other questions also which we have not discussed till now. Fine. So we are not going to stop the class after the chemistry. After the chemistry, we will be coming up with the more difficult questions, but all the questions will be from the previous sessions. Don't worry. So yes, this question please. What I am talking about the transistor. We know that we are talking about the amplifying device. Now if I talk about those hearing aids, we have seen with our grandfathers, grandmothers who are not able to listen properly, we have a device over there which is plugged into the ear, which actually amplifies the sound so that they can easily hear that. So yes, if I talk about these transistors, it is most likely to be found in where? In the hearing device, so that they can easily listen that. Got my point, Ganesh? Clear? So yes, hearing aid, that is option number C, will be correct. Next, stationary waves are formed by dash. Now this is from Cgl 2013. What is the correct answer? Stationary waves are formed by dash. What is the correct answer here? And yes, please do not miss these previous year questions classes, because it's very difficult to find these previous year questions. So I'm coming up with those questions, and this would actually help you out in knowing what kind of questions were previously asked. So what would be the level that we are going to give the examination, that is Cgl 2022, right? So okay, if I talk about stationary waves, please remember, if I'm talking about any of the two waves which are actually having the same frequency, or we can talk about the amplitude also, and when they are traveling in the opposite direction, please remember this part. When we are talking about the two waves, fine, and we know that waves are actually in this direction, sorry, in this manner we create a sinusoidal wave. So yes, when we are talking about any of the two waves which are having the same frequency, and we can talk about the same amplitude. Now what's the amplitude? Amplitude is this part. From here we can get to know what is the amplitude actually, fine. And yes, frequency, number of oscillations which are there in the per unit time. So that is frequency. If I talk about the wavelength, so wavelength is any distance between any two crust or any of the two troughs. So this is actually the wavelength. So Ganesh, are you aware of all these things? What is frequency? Number of oscillations per unit time. What is amplitude? This distance, right? And wavelength, any two crust or any two troughs, the distance between them is wavelength. Simple. Now, stationary wave is only formed when we are talking about any of the two waves which are traveling in the opposite direction, one in this, one in this, and they have the same frequency, or we can talk about the same amplitude. So we have any of the option given here. So yes, we have two waves of same frequency traveling in the opposite direction. That is option number D will be correct. Very important. Okay, cool Ganesh, fine. So yes, two waves of the same frequency traveling in the opposite direction. That is option number D will be correct answer. Next. Intensity of any wave is proportional to which of the following? Intensity of any wave is proportional to which of the following? This is from CGL. Amplitude, square of amplitude, square root of amplitude, or cube of amplitude. What is the correct answer? Question is, intensity of any wave is proportional to which of the following? Is it amplitude, square of amplitude, square root of amplitude, or cube of amplitude? What is the correct answer? Okay Ganesh, fine. So please remember, whenever we talk about the intensity of any of the wave, it is proportional to the square of the amplitude. So there are several questions which are asked in the examination. There will be in the form of ratio or something like that. Yes, totally correct. Great Ganesh, awesome. Totally correct. If I talk about the square of amplitude, that is option number B, that is going to be the correct answer. Great. Next. So before moving forward, let me tell you, there's an Exampur official application, which is one-stop solution for all the government job aspirants. What we'll have here? We have live paid courses with the test series. We have free subject-wise and topic-wise quizzes with the report card. We have job alert, admit card, examination dates. Then we have all exams previous year PDFs with the solution. We have free All India scholarship test with the report card. Then we have topic-wise free live classes, free full-length and sectional test with the report card, free exam-wise PDF practice and PDF, daily, weekly, monthly current affairs. Then we have unlimited subject-wise practice questions. All these at a single platform. What do you have to do? Just go to the Play Store, type Exampur there, click on the install part, click on the open button, then do some registration and start using it. Yeah, what's the next question? Which of the following is not an electromagnetic wave? Now this is again from CGL. Which of the following is not an electromagnetic wave? Is it X-ray, gamma ray, cathode ray, or infrared ray? What is the correct answer here? What will be correct answer? Answer please. Which of the following is not an EM wave or electromagnetic wave? Do you remember? Electromagnetic spectrum. If I talk about those EM waves, so how can actually I get the answer? Yeah. So we have G, X, U, V, I, M, R. Remember? Gamma ray, X-ray, ultraviolet ray, visible ray, infrared ray. All this. Now, if I'll go with these options, X-ray, is it present here? Yeah, it is present. Gamma ray, yes, it is present. Cathode ray, I cannot find. Infrared, yes, it is there. So the only option that is left is what? The only option which is left is your cathode ray. That means option number C will be correct according to this question. What was the question? Which of the following is not an electromagnetic wave? And when we were talking about GXU, VIMR, we did not find cathode ray. Awesome Ganesh, totally correct. So here cathode ray, that is option number C will be correct. Great. So here option C is correct. Next, the device used for measuring the wavelength of X-rays is what? So is it cyclotron, is it Bragg spectrometer, is it mass spectrometer, or is it GM counter? Now this is from CGL again. So wavelength of X-ray is measured by what? So answer please. What do you think? Cyclotron, Bragg spectrometer, mass spectrometer, or GM counter? What is going to be the correct answer here? Device used for measuring the wavelength of X-rays. Again I'll tell you. Till the time I am getting your answer, let me tell you how we are calculating the wavelength. For calculating the wavelength of any of the wave, just have a look at any of the two troughs or crest. Just measure the distance between them, which is actually given by lambda. This is what? This is actually your wavelength. Simple. Got my point? So yes Ganesh, totally correct. Awesome. Totally correct. Bragg spectrometer is the correct answer. So Bragg spectrometer is the device which is used for measuring the wavelength of the X-rays. Totally correct. And Naina, you are absolutely correct. Great Naina. Great, awesome. Ganesh. Next. Who invented radar? Who was the one who has actually invented radar? This is from Cgl again. Waiting for the answer. Till then, let me tell you, if I talk about radar, its full form is radio detection and ranging. Where for identifying that unwanted flying object is entering in our territory, we can actually get to know about it. So for identifying any of the unidentified flying object, we need radar. Okay, so who was the one who has actually discovered it? There was a question from X-ray. Till then, let me tell you. So Nana is with Hertz, and that's correct. If I talk about this question, Heinrich Hertz is the correct answer. And if someone asks you about the X-ray, the previous question was from X-ray, right? So X-ray was actually discovered by Wilhelm Röntgen. Very important question. Yeah, Nana, totally correct. So if I talk about radar, it's option number B, that is Heinrich Hertz. And if I talk about William Röntgen, who was he? He actually discovered X-ray. So both these questions are very important for the examination. Do not forget. Great, Nana. Next, cooking of rice is harder where? On the top of mountains, bottom of sea, under the mine, or it is same at everywhere? Question is, where do we find difficulty in cooking rice? And there's one more question, how can we make it easier? But that would be the next question. Right now I want this answer. Cooking of rice is harder where? Is it top of the mountains, bottom of the sea, under the mine, or same everywhere? What is the correct answer here? Ganesh, I am waiting for your answer. Then we have Nena. Answer please. See, whenever we are talking about this cooking of rice, we know that at the top of the mountain, because of the issue in the atmospheric pressure, what happens? Rice actually starts cooking before 100 degrees centigrade. That is, we know that at 100 degrees centigrade water boils, but before 100 degrees centigrade itself, we get it. That's very obvious, it will not be cooking well. So what we can do, we can either use pressure cooker there. One more thing that can be done is adding salt there. Please remember, adding salt would be the good option for this part. Okay, but yes, the question is right here asked regarding the mountain part or bottom of the sea. So the only option that is left is option number A. That is, at the top of mountain, it's difficult for cooking the rice. Why? Atmospheric pressure. Yeah, next. Okay, so is that particular point clear? If that is clear, please give me thumbs up so that I can move forward. Till then, let me tell you there's Exampur official application which is actually one-stop solution for all the government job aspirants. We have all these facilities with the job alerts. We have full examination wise PDFs. We have current affairs. All these things at a single platform. What we have to do? Just go with this Play Store part. Type Exampur over there. Click on the install button. Click on the open part. Just register it and start using it. Yes, next question is, when the ball is thrown vertically upwards, which of the following quantities remain constant during its motion? When the ball is thrown upwards, now we know that when we are throwing the ball upwards, what will happen? Here, something will increase, something will decrease. Now what's that? I'll explain that part. But before that, I want the answer. Okay, Ganesh, great. So answer please. When the ball is thrown upwards, which of the following quantities remains constant during the motion? What will remain constant? Is it energy, displacement, velocity, or kinetic energy? So need answer before explaining this graph and all. What is actually happening here? So we have two type of energies, right? One would be potential. Monali has given the answer. So Monali is saying the answer would be displacement. Sarika is with K. That is which one? You are talking about Sarika about kinetic energy, na? Ganesh is with D, Naina is with B, then Sarika is with D. Okay, so Naina is with B, Monali is with B, and others are with D. Okay, let me explain this part. First thing, please, everyone must remember, energy always remains constant. Okay, Sarika? If I'll talk about energy, energy is neither created nor destroyed, but can be changed from one form to another. Simple, law of conservation of energy. This means energy will always remain constant. Now, okay, you are also going with D now. Okay, Naina is going with D now. Okay, so kinetic energy cannot be the answer. Kinetic energy cannot remain constant in this condition. Why? Let's have a look. First of all, let's have a look. Here is a building, fine, and what? Here's a boy that is actually standing, and here's done what? He has thrown a ball. Now, what will happen? when the ball is thrown upwards, it's obvious it will come downward as well. Now, let's remove this building part. When this ball was thrown upwards, there was a peak time where it will become stationary and then it will start coming down. Now, let's have a discussion on the potential energy and kinetic energy. If I talk about potential energy, its formula is what? Its formula is mgh. That is, when ball was thrown upwards, mass was same, right? But height was changing. Since height was increasing, so potential energy was also increasing. And we know that law of conservation of energy, potential energy and kinetic energy sum is going to be same. That means at the peak point, this part, here kinetic energy was actually 0. Right? But potential energy was maximum because height was maximum. Now, the time it will come down, potential energy will keep on decreasing and kinetic energy will keep on increasing, which will be maximum just before touching the ground. Got my point? Here what is happening? Kinetic energy is changing, potential energy is also changing, but their sum is always constant. That is, overall energy, if I talk about, overall energy is always constant, but potential energy and kinetic energy is changing. Got my point? So everyone who is there at the session right now, if you have any sort of doubt, please let me know right now itself. So again I am saying, at the top, Ke plus Pe was having some value. This value will remain constant throughout this particular part, whether throwing ball upwards or when the ball is coming downwards. Potential energy is maximum here. Then when the time comes, when it is falling down, height is decreasing. So potential energy is decreasing, but kinetic energy is what? Half mv square. Mass is same, but it is changing with according to the velocity, right? So yes, and anyone who was with the displacement option, if there is anyone who is with the displacement option, displacement always changes, right? Okay, so here option number 8, that is energy, was correct. Next, the time taken by a pendulum to complete one oscillation is called what? Now this is from Cgl 2017. Maximum speed, average speed, time period or time interval. What is the correct answer here? And everyone who is there in the session, I want the answer please. Answer please, everyone. And is there anyone who had the doubt in that part? Answer please. Because we have just 8 minutes more with this session and I have many questions. I will be discussing all those options as well. But I want answer from everyone. The time taken by the pendulum to complete one of its oscillation. Yes. So is it what? Is it maximum speed, average speed, time period or time interval? So Nana is with C, that is time period. And yes, everyone please remember, whenever we are talking about a pendulum, so if I talk about the one complete oscillation, that is what? That is your time period. Munali is with D, that is time interval. Then we have Anaga with C, time period. So Anaga, Nana, you are absolutely correct. Munali, please remember, when we are talking about the complete oscillation, that would be actually time period. Okay, let's move forward with the next question. The phenomena of change in the direction of light when it passes from one medium to another, this is known as what? Is it propagation, reflection, refraction or dispersion? What is the correct answer? And everyone who is there in the session, you all are requested to kindly like it and share it. So we have Ilma here after a long time. Whole team has actually given attendance today. You all will be giving fine with the 1 samosa each. Okay, so let's get back to the question. The phenomena of change in direction of a light when it passes from one medium to another. Now this is a very basic question. We have LTM here. Hello LTM, good evening, how are you? So Monali is with B, that is reflection. Okay, one of the option is reflection. Others, are you also going with same, that is reflection? Anaga is with C, that is refraction. Nana is with C, refraction. Okay, Elma. Yeah, so if I'll go with this part, please remember, when we are talking about the reflection, reflection means there was a ray that was coming in one of the medium. We can talk about air medium. It actually struck at one of the point and it went back in the same medium. There was angle of incidence and angle of reflection which were actually same. Angle of I, that is angle of reflection, and angle of incidence was same. And they were actually lying on the same point. So this is actually reflection. But if there's a ray that is coming from one of the medium, let us consider it as an air, and it is going into another medium, water or glass. So accordingly, in spite of going here, it will either go here or here. That is, there would be change in the medium. This particular concept is actually refraction. So here option number C will be same. Ilma is saying something, reflection will reflect and diffraction passes in the medium. Yeah, correct. So yes, moving forward with the next question. The least distance from the distinct vision is dash. So if you want to read clearly, what is the least distance for the best vision? What would be the correct answer? The least distance for the distinct vision is what? Is it 35 centimeter, 25, 45 or 15? What is the correct answer here? Answer please. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, answer please. The least distance for the distinct vision, and everyone who is there in the session, kindly like it and share it. Everyone. And yes, please give me this answer. I am waiting for the answer right now. Monali is with D. That is a 15 centimeters. Okay. Monali, I guess. Oh, just a second. I'll be taking help. Oh, shit. Yeah, I want the answer from you all. Till then time, I'll just take 2 minutes. I'll just take 2 minutes so that we will discuss this question. I'll just take 2 minutes. Fine. Yeah, sorry for that. Sorry for that. I guess it's clear now. So I was talking about this question. The least distance, the least distance of distinct vision is what? So it is actually 25 centimeter. And the ones who were actually giving answer of 15 centimeter, I guess you all were giving according to that 17 meter. This is actually the distance for eco. So the minimum distance for eco is 17 meter. But the least distance for distinct vision is actually 25 centimeter. So all these things are important. Please do not forget. Okay. So this point is clear now. Next. Color blindness defect can be corrected using which lens? Is it concave, convex, cylindrical or none of these? Color blindness. And everyone who is there in the session, waiting for the answer please. I guess everything is clear now. The question is, the color blindness can be corrected by which lens? Concave, convex, cylindrical or none? Please give this answer thinking twice. Answer please. And all the correct givers of this answer will be given one chocolate each of 10 rupees, dairy milk. So Monali is with C, that is cylindrical lens. LTM is saying, sir, it would be D. LTM, can you tell me your name please, so that I can start conversation with you? You are always there with LTM kuch bhi, and I guess, okay. So yes, we have option D with LTM. Monali is with C. Others? See what, Nena is with D. Anaga is with D. So maximum of you are going with D. Nena, Anaga, LTM, everyone. Monali, please remember everyone. If Ilma is just thinking, sir, is it none? See, what is color blindness? Color blindness is an issue where you are not able to distinguish between two different colors, right? So yes, when I talk about this color blindness, it cannot be cleared. Okay, acha, okay, Mahesh, got it, remember. Okay, Mahesh, cool. So what I was saying, if I talk about this color blindness, remember, where we are not able to clear or we cannot distinguish between two different colors, fine. You must have seen there's a number that is written, something like that, and where there's a point like structure. We are not able to get that number. That is actually color blindness, which cannot be eradicated by using any of the lenses. So here, none of these would be the correct answer. Great, everyone. Next, speed of light is maximum where? So is it vacuum, solid, liquid or gases? Where we will be having maximum speed of light? This is from CGL, and yes, this question is very important for other examinations as well. Where we will be having maximum speed of light? Answer please. Please remember, when we are talking about the speed of light, here we have vacuum, solid, liquid and gases. So if I'll draw a sequence order, बोल होता है color blind, it can see only black and white color. That's true. And someone of us think, acha, Nana, what is the chocolate? Yeah, Nana, I'll courier all the 10 rupees chocolates to everyone. Fine. Okay. So what I was saying, I was talking about this question, and Monali is with A, that is vacuum, Nana is with A. Acha, you want munch? Okay, so you can tell me the preference, fine, and accordingly I'll courier that. Let's come back to our question now. So what I was saying, I was talking about the speed of light. So Monali was the one who has given the answer. Awesome, Monali. Then Nana. Everyone please remember, if I'm talking about the speed of light, it is actually maximum in the case of vacuums. Fine. But if I talk about solids, the concept becomes opposite. That is, in the solid, where the maximum sound would be traveling, then liquid and then gases, and sound cannot travel in the vacuum. But in the case of light, it's totally different. Okay, so yes, speed of sound is actually maximum in the case of vacuum. Next, convex mirror is generally used where? In solar cookers. What is the correct answer over here? Great, Elma. Yes, we have one more question after this. So I want this answer in the super fast manner. If I'll talk about the convex mirror, we have understood about it. When we are talking about convex, so just try to write it. Convex. Then if I'll write concave, I told you just count the letters. If I'll Ilma, I'll be having the Hindi classes from day after tomorrow itself in the Ssc Gd batch. But that's on the application. We are having mission Vardi, right? Where we are discussing about the DP, that is Delhi Police Constable. Then we have UP Police Examination. And apart from that, we are having the Ssc Gd preparation, which is there in mission Vardi. There I'll be taking science in Ssc Gd batch, which is starting from day after tomorrow. That is Thursday. So you can come on the application part and join that session. Okay, let's come back to this question. I told you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 letters are there. If I talk about it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 letters are there. I told you maximum letters, larger the image. Here, lesser, that is smaller the image. And this was the trick where we remembered what? In the side mirror view. In the side mirror view, we are using convex mirror. Just have a look. Here, rear view mirror. That is option number D. Fine. The timing would be 2 to 3. Between 2 to 3, we'll be having session, and that would be in pure Hindi. No English over there. Fine. Okay. So, last question of the day. Which phenomena do bat or dolphins use to find the prey, predators, or the obstacles? This is from Cgl, and this is a very simple one. So, can you answer this? Waiting for the answer, please. If I talk about the phenomena which are used by bat or dolphins, so you remember I told you one of the thing, that is sound navigation and ranging. That is sonar. Remember that? So yes, this was the concept of what? This was the concept of echo. That is, here I was discussing now. We have discussed that part. We have Reshma, 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 Rohit, Rohit, Rohit. So that was the logic. That was echo, where the sound was actually reflecting back. So they are doing what? They are again using the same concept when they are sending those waves. As soon as that wave comes, they get to know, okay, obstacle is there, and accordingly they prepare themselves. So that's true. So Nana, Ilma, totally correct. So here what we can say, that from eco word, we can say ecolation. So here option number D will be correct. Okay, then we'll do one thing. From tomorrow we are going to start with the chemistry. In the morning, all the examinations of SSC, whether it is steno, CHSL and all, and in the evening with the Cgl part. So we'll be discussing chemistry from tomorrow. Fine. Okay, fine. I was just giving the example. So we'll meet tomorrow in the morning with the chemistry part for all the other SSC examinations, which includes steno and all, and in the evening with the Cgl. Okay, R. That's great. Your answer was totally correct. So we'll meet tomorrow. And if you have any sort of doubt, comment section is there. Please let me know. Bye-bye. Please take care.